Hi, this is Miss Goodale, and today I'm going to be talking about writing an inequality. Before we get started, I want to review some of the symbols that we went over in the last video. We have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or not equal to. And some of the other things that I want to review are keywords that help us to know what to do. So I'm not going to read through each of these because we went over them in another video and you should have them in your notes. But these are the ones for addition. These are the ones for subtraction, or the indicators for each of those. These are multiplication and these are division. You can rewind or pause the video if you need to look back at those, or go back to your notes from the previous lessons. Now, some new ones that go with this lesson are some words that would indicate are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, not equal to symbols. So greater than obviously is another word for that. More than and over are also words that could indicate this greater than symbol. The greater than or equal to is very similar. It could also say no less than, or it could say at least. For less than, we could say less than, under, not as much as, or fewer than. We could say less than or equal to for that symbol, at most, no more than or limited to. For instance, if somebody was going on a roller coaster ride, they would have to be at most this height, or their height would be limited to that height, okay? The symbol here is the not equal to sign, could also be said as could not be. So those are some of the symbols. Now we're going to take that and use those indicators to help us decide how to write from words into an inequality. So you'll see on my paper here, I have several different inequalities written in words, and we need to translate those into numbers and symbols. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the numbers and the keywords. So I have 3 and I have 27 are my two numbers. And it says 3 more than a number. So more than a number, remember more than is plus. And a number, we could use any letter, but I'm going to use N. And then it says is greater than. Obviously, is greater than is going to be your greater than symbol. And that's all. The next one, 8 less than a number. So we have less than a number. Less than is subtraction. If it's less than another number, then my other number goes first and you take 8 out. Okay, do not forget to make sure that you have that in the right order. Is more than 12. So more than is the same thing as greater than. So we would use that sign. And then my number here is 12. Now we have these keywords. 7 times a number. We could put a multiplication sign. Times is multiplication. Or since we don't know what the number is, I'll use a variable. So instead of writing 7 times x, I can just write 7x or 7n. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 7n again. Is at most. So remember, that one is not exactly self-explanatory. So if I look at my chart here, at most is my less than or equal to sign. So I'm going to use that sign. And then 14 is my other number on my other side. And I could do this the other way and have my number over here and have my problem over here too. So they're not always this way. Let's look at the next one. 7 less than a number. Remember, when it's less than, it's subtraction, but my number here goes second because it's 11 less than. And then I'm just going to use in instead of other variables, is no more than. So I'm going to look at my little key over here. No more than is right here. So that one is another one that is less than or equal to. And then my number is 15. 8 times a number. So 8 times a number means 8 and then multiplication and that number. Remember, we can just put our number beside a variable since we don't know that number. So I'm doing 8n is greater than or equal to. So that one they told us what the sign is, right? The 8 greater than or equal to. And my other number is 12. This one is a little bit different. The number of participants is limited to 100. So I don't know how many participants. I'm just going to put a variable. I could put letter N. I put letter P because P is the first letter of participants. Limited to, that means it's less than or equal to. So that's another less than or equal to. And then my other number is 100. Okay, so that's how you would do those. You just look one part at a time and then put in the symbols and the operations. Now let's go backwards. So this time we have numbers and operations, but we need to put it into words. So this one I could say n minus 12, but I'm going to use the less than. So I want to put 12. 12 less than n or a number. Let me say just a number instead of n. And then I'm going to look at my chart here. I have this greater than or equal to sign. I'm going to use at least. Now I could have said n or a number, take away $12 is greater than or equal to 8. I could have said that also. There's multiple ways you could say these same things. Okay, just pay attention to your chart with your keywords and use those. And then 8 here. 12n. So I have 12n, that's indication of multiplication. So let me say, I'm just going to use times. Or maybe let's use the word product actually. So the product of 12 and a number is, and then let's look at our greater than symbol. We could say greater than. I want to say over. And it's going to cut me off on this video, so this may be the last one. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Just make sure you use those keywords, okay? I'm going to try to show you how to do this one maybe before it cuts off. But so this would be 2 times a number